Some time ago, I was given a box of old rusty tools that were sat in the garage for more than 40 years. And I've had them in my garage for quite some time and haven't really known what to do with them. My immediate instinct was just probably throw them away. The rusty old metal tools that are no use to me, and I'm sure no use to anybody else. But they're still here, and I decided what I might try to do is see if I can clean them up. And I had a look around and I noticed that you can use something as simple as vinegar to clean up the rust on old tools. And that's what I've decided to do. And in this video, I'm going to try to use some vinegar and I'm going to try to clean up these old rusty tools and show you that process. And potentially you could do the same thing. In this box of tools, there are all sorts of things like screwdrivers, pliers and spanners. Lots and lots of spanners, which are imperial spanners and not metric. So they're not any good to me, even if I could use them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to clean up these tools by using the vinegar. And I've also seen online you can use lots of different methods. So I'm going to try and clean up some of these tools using vinegar alone. And I'm also going to try to clean up these tools by using oil. So I've seen that you can use WD-40, or I've got some 3-in-1 oil. So I'm going to try that as well. And also you try to use some bicarbonate of soda, some baking powder, to clean up these things as well. So it'll be interesting to see what the results are. And I'll show you, I'll take you along this journey on how I'm trying to clean up these tools. Let's have a look. So as I've mentioned, I've got a 5-litre tub of vinegar, which I bought from Amazon. It cost me £6, so it's about $7.50. I have a tin of 3-in-1 oil, which is a substitute for WD-40. I'm sure it's the same thing. And I've got a tub of baking powder. So my aim is I'm going to use these plastic bottles and I'm going to fill these plastic bottles up with vinegar. And I've got 3 of them. I've got 3 different sizes. I've got, this one's a 2-litre bottle because I've got a slightly larger piece of tool. And I'm going to fill those bottles up. And I'm going to try to take the rust off of 3 of these sort of plier type things. Now this one's very rusty and I'm not sure what this is used for. It's potentially, I can only assume maybe it's for holding cloth or something, and maybe leather, I don't know. I'm not sure what this does. It's very rusty, there's a rust on my fingers. So I've got that. I've also got 2 other, I've got an adjustable wrench, which I'm going to try and take this rust off. And I've also got just a standard pair of pliers, which are fairly stiff. They're not too bad, but they are very rusty indeed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the tops of these bottles off. So the first thing I want to do is cut the bottles. So I'm going to cut the tops of these bottles off. And there is my vessel for putting my first thing in. So that'll just sit there. So it's going to have to be full right to the top of vinegar. So now I'm going to cut the other 2 tops off and put these other things in there. That one will go in there and that go in there. So this tool is going to go straight into vinegar only, and I'm going to put it in that one there. So this pair of pliers I'm going to put in vinegar, and I'm going to use the 3-in-1 oil, and I'm going to use the baking soda. And this one I'm just going to put baking soda on. So I'm going to do all these now. So for the baking soda, I've put a little bit of water in the bottom of this piece of plastic. So I'm going to put a little bit of baking soda in there and I'm going to mix it up. And I'm going to just not put too much in there. I'm going to mix that up and then I'm going to rub that in my metal things. I've got myself a little bit of cloth and I'm going to just use that and just mix up that baking powder in there, make it just like that. And then I'm just going to rub this in here. This one, I'm going to rub this baking powder. Seems a bit counterintuitive because the alkali mixing with the acid seems a bit odd that you do this, but I'm going to put this in here. I've seen this done before, so I'm going to try it myself. So I'm going to do that, and we're just going to leave this. I'm just going to put this in there. That's all that's going to have is the baking soda, and that's going in there. So I'll squeeze that in there. I'm going to put some oil in there, and then this one I'm going to spray this with WD-40 or 3-in-1 oil, as this is. I'm going to spray this with 3-in-1 oil, and then I'm going to get some more of this baking soda, and I'm going to try and rub this into this. Simple as that. Probably should put more of this on, but I'm going to rub this in. This has got oil in it, and it's got baking powder 3-in-1. So I'll just spray a bit more of that on there. Make it. I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm going to stick that in there. I'm going to fill these 3 tubs up, and then I'm going to leave them for 24 hours until they are ready. So let's do this now. So here we go. I've not opened this before. This is the first open this vinegar's had. So open this vinegar, and then I'm just going to fill this up. 2 litres worth of vinegar. Nearly half of my 5 litres of vinegar. That's gone right to the top to get the whole lot in. And now I'm going to do this one. This one's got the oil and the baking soda. See how that does. And then finally these pliers. So this should be pretty much all of my vinegar. Just fill it up to the top. So what I'm going to do is leave these for 24 hours and come back to them in 24 hours and see what they look like. So it's 24 hours later, or by the power of YouTube, just a couple of seconds for you. And I've noticed not a lot of difference between the 3 tools. I haven't touched these whatsoever. I've not laid my hands on them. They've just been sat in here overnight, and it's now the next day. And these big pliers, they don't look any different. They look very much like they were when I left them. The adjustable spanner that's got both the baking soda and the oil, that's bubbling away, but it still doesn't look like any rust has dropped off it, but that's fine. And the normal pliers, which just had the baking soda on, they don't look any different. So that's going to be interesting. So I've got with me, I did find some WD-40, by the way, so I've got some if I need it. Not that I don't, because I already had some 3-in-1. I've got some latex gloves, so I decided I'm not going to do anything with them without the gloves on this time. I've got a rag, and I've got another thing to clean with, and I've also got an old bowl that I'm going to use. It's a bit dirty, but I'm going to use this and put some water in it to clean the tools up to see how I get on. Let's see what they look like when they come out. So the pliers do look interesting. It looks like they've got definitely some rust prevention going on. And the spanner, look at that. That's just bubbling away like mad. It looks very brown, this vinegar. And these sort of implements, the water's a bit brown, but it's not terribly brown. So gloves on first. I think I'll put these latex gloves on first so that I don't get any problems with my hands. In the first instance, I'll just use this paper towel. So here comes the first one. So just pulled it out, it bubbled a little bit, and I'll just stick it on this towel. So I'll just give this a wipe off, see if I can, oh, look at that. That rust is coming off really nicely. Wow. Wipe this down. That's quite good. It's almost looking like a nice pair of pliers now compared to that rusty old pair of pliers that I had earlier. That's coming off really well. Let's put a bit of vinegar on this and just finish it off with vinegar. See if that helps. It looks pitted. It's quite pitted.
but I guess a very old tool like this would be. So, okay, that looks good. What I will do is I'll clean that off in the bowl, and then once I've done all three, I'll show you which one the best is. I'll just spend a little bit of time cleaning this. But I guess without the vinegar, this would not have come off this easily. So I've also got this isn't wire wool, it's just a cooker cleaner. And I've also got this sponge that I'm going to use. And if I need to, I've got the WD-40. So that's the first one in my desk up. That's the first one. That looks quite good. My initial look, that's not bad at all. And my paper's looking a bit worse for wear, but now's the time for the adjustable spanner, and I used both oil and baking powder on this, and this still looks quite brown, but we saw that with the other pair of pliers. So let's give this a wipe. I'll just rub this off. I'm not sure if this was chrome or if this was just black, but immediately this is coming off very easily. Look at that. That's come off very nicely. Still a bit brown, but once again, just like the other tool, I think what I'll do, I'll spend a little bit of effort in wiping this off in the bowl, and hopefully that will clean up nicely. Does it turn? No. So it doesn't turn, well, at least not with these gloves on, so that maybe I need to do a bit more work around the head, see if I can get that to turn. But cleanliness, that's coming off nicely. Like I said, this is probably not chrome or anything like it, so that's probably why it still looks a bit grey. But there you go, that's the adjustable spanner. It's not looking too bad at all. That can go in ready in the box waiting. Clean up my desk again. Finally, I've got these pliers. These were quite stiff, but not too bad. They're much looser now. So that doesn't even look like it's got rust on it. It just looks black. And that, let's have a look. Let's do a bit of rubbing, see what I can find. See, that's cleaning up nice. Look at that. That's really good. So once again, these don't look like they were chrome items. Maybe these were just a black pair of pliers. But these certainly look like a very nice pair of pliers now. They look like they're going to clean up very nicely. So, okay, looking good. So what I'm going to do is put these aside as well. And I'm going to give these a clean up in the bowl and put some water in, etc. In this bowl, I've put a little bit of car shampoo detergent in, a bit of water, and I'm using this oven cleaner as a scrubber to try to scrub it. So I'll hack away at scrubbing these all off in this bowl. And they're coming off. They're coming really nicely clean. These pliers are like brand new. I think these are going to come off nicely. But I just keep doing this. I could have done with some wire wool, if I'm honest. I did have a look in the range, but they didn't have any, so I ended up not getting any. So maybe I should have gone to another shop, B&M perhaps. I could have got some. But I'm going to clean these off, and we'll come back to you when I've done it. I spent the last few minutes cleaning up these tools in the bowl. I think they've come out very, very well. These odd-shaped pliers have come out fantastically well. There's a bit of pitting in the handle, but apart from that, they're just as good as new. The standard pliers are excellent as well. There's a couple of little bits of rust still on there, and there's a stubborn bit on the handle that I'm going to try and get this off with wire wool. But these are a very, very usable pair of pliers, and yeah, great. That's done very, very well. And the adjustable wrench, all the rust is gone, but I still can't move it. I still can't turn the nut or the thread. But still, they're still, for the purposes of this test, they've done very, very well. So would I recommend that you do this with your 40-year-old rusty tools, I'm not so sure if it's worth doing the whole lot. But I would recommend that if you've got a $50 pair of snap-on pliers that you've left in your garage for a year and they've rusted off, it was definitely worth investing in a tub of vinegar, put them in the vinegar for 24, 36 hours and clean them off, and they'll be like new, and it'll save you $50 buying a new pair of snap-on pliers if you've got them. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this test that I've done using this vinegar. And if you've watched any of those other videos that you see these miraculous changes of rust to no rust, then I'm not quite so sure they're genuine, because it has taken me quite a bit of work to get these tools to be rust-free as they are. But you can do it, and that's the point of this video. It's definitely possible, and vinegar is definitely something to use. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy the process that I've gone through to try to clean these tools. If you did enjoy it, then a like would be fantastic. And if you do like this kind of lifestyle videos that I think I might create more of, then why not subscribe to the channel? Hopefully you'll see a few more of these lifestyle-y type videos. Once again, thank you very much indeed for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.